Why do so many people work hard their entire lives, read every self-help book, attend seminars, and still feel like something is missing? They chase promotion after promotion, accumulate achievements, and yet deep down, they sense that true effectiveness and fulfillment remain just out of reach. Stephen R. Covey spent decades studying this question. His conclusion was both simple and profound. The problem is not a lack of effort. The problem is that most people build their success on the wrong foundation. In his landmark book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Covey presents a principle-centered approach to personal and professional effectiveness. This is not a collection of quick fixes or motivational slogans. It is a comprehensive framework for building character-based success that lasts. Let us begin. Covey opens the book by drawing a critical distinction between what he calls the personality ethic and the character ethic. The personality ethic dominates much of modern self-help literature. It focuses on techniques, public image, skills, and quick-fix strategies. It teaches people how to appear successful, how to influence others through tactics, and how to get what they want faster. The character ethic, on the other hand, is rooted in timeless principles. It emphasizes integrity, humility, courage, justice, patience, and the golden rule. Covey argues that true effectiveness can only be built on this deeper foundation. Think of it this way. The personality ethic is like learning to smile for the camera. The character ethic is about becoming the kind of person who has genuine reasons to smile. Covey's 7 habits are organized around a maturity continuum. This continuum moves through 3 stages: dependence, independence, and interdependence. Dependence is the paradigm of you. You take care of me. You're responsible for my results. Independence is the paradigm of I can do it. I am responsible for my own outcomes. Interdependence is the paradigm of we. We can combine our talents to create something greater than either of us could achieve alone. Most people mistakenly believe that independence is the ultimate goal. Covey challenges this assumption. He argues that interdependence is the higher and more mature state, because all meaningful achievement in life requires cooperation with others. The first 3 habits focus on the private victory. They move a person from dependence to independence. Habit 1 is be proactive. This is the foundation of all the other habits. To be proactive means to take responsibility for your own life. It means recognizing that your behavior is a function of your decisions, not your conditions. Covey distinguishes between reactive and proactive people. Reactive people are driven by feelings, circumstances, and their environment. When the weather is good, they feel good. When people treat them well, they feel well. Their emotional lives are determined by external forces. Proactive people, in contrast, are driven by values. They carry their own weather. They recognize that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies the freedom to choose, and in that choice lies growth and happiness. Covey introduces the concept of the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Your circle of concern contains all the things you care about. Your circle of influence contains the things you can actually do something about. Reactive people focus their energy on their circle of concern, worrying about things beyond their control. Proactive people focus on their circle of influence, taking action where they can make a difference. As they do so, their circle of influence naturally expands. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. This habit is based on the principle that all things are created twice. There is a mental creation, and then there is a physical creation. A house is designed in the mind of the architect before it is built with bricks and mortar. Covey encourages readers to imagine their own funeral. What would you want people to say about you? What character would you want them to have witnessed? What contributions and achievements would you want them to remember? This visualization exercise helps clarify what truly matters. From this clarity, you can create a personal mission statement. This statement becomes your constitution, the standard by which you evaluate every decision and action in your life. Without a clear sense of destination, you may climb the ladder of success only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. Habit 3 is put first things first. If habit 2 is the mental creation, habit 3 is the physical creation. It is about execution and discipline. It is about organizing and managing your time around your deepest priorities. Covey presents a time management matrix with 4 quadrants: activities are categorized by urgency and importance. Quadrant 1 contains tasks that are both urgent and important. These are crises and pressing deadlines. Quadrant 2 contains tasks that are important but not urgent. These include relationship building, long-term planning, exercise, and personal development. Quadrant 3 contains tasks that are urgent but not important. These are interruptions, some phone calls, and other people's priorities disguised as emergencies. Quadrant 4 contains tasks that are neither urgent nor important. These are time wasters and escape activities. Effective people spend the majority of their time in Quadrant 2. By focusing on important but not urgent activities, they prevent crises, build capacity, and create sustainable results. The key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. With the private victory established, Covey moves to the public victory. Habits 4, 5, and 6 focus on interdependence and effective interaction with others. But first, Covey introduces a crucial concept, the emotional bank account. Every relationship has an emotional bank account. Deposits include acts of kindness, keeping commitments, being loyal, and seeking to understand. Withdrawals include discourtesy, broken promises, and betrayal of trust. When the account balance is high, communication is easy and effective. When the account is overdrawn, every interaction becomes strained and difficult. Building reserves in this account is essential before the public victory habits can work. Habit 4 is think win-win. Win-win is a frame of mind and heart that constantly seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. It is based on the paradigm that there is plenty for everyone, and that one person's success does not require another person's failure. Covey identifies 6 paradigms of human interaction: win-win, win-lose, lose-win, lose-lose, win, and win-win or no deal. Win-lose is the competitive mindset. I win, you lose. It is appropriate in sports, but corrosive in relationships and business. Lose-win is the doormat mentality. You win, I lose. People who adopt this paradigm seek approval and acceptance at the cost of their own needs. Win-win requires both courage and consideration. It requires the confidence to express your own needs and the empathy to understand the needs of others. When win-win is not possible, the mature alternative is no deal, an agreement to disagree agreeably. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. This habit is the single most important principle in interpersonal relations. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. They filter everything through their own experiences and project their own autobiography onto others. Covey advocates for empathic listening. This means listening with the intent to understand the other person's frame of reference, to see the world as they see it, and to understand how they feel. Empathic listening is risky. When you deeply understand another person, you become open to being influenced by them. But it is also incredibly powerful. When people feel understood, they lower their defenses and become open to influence in return. Diagnosis must precede prescription. You would not trust a doctor who prescribed medication before understanding your symptoms. The same principle applies to communication. Which of these habits do you find the most challenging to practice consistently in your own life? Consider that question as we continue. Habit 6 is synergize. Synergy means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It is the highest activity in all of life. It is the true test and manifestation of all the other habits put together. When people communicate synergistically, they open themselves to new possibilities. They create a third alternative that neither party could have conceived alone. Synergy requires valuing differences. Most people see differences as threats. They want others to agree with them, but sameness is not oneness. Uniformity is not unity. The person who is truly effective has the humility to recognize their own limitations and the wisdom to value the strengths of others. When you combine the insights of people who see things differently, you create solutions that are better than anything either could produce independently. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. This habit surrounds all the others. It is about preserving and enhancing your greatest asset, which is yourself. Covey identifies 4 dimensions of renewal: physical, mental, spiritual, and social-emotional. The physical dimension involves exercise, nutrition, and rest. The mental dimension involves reading, learning, and writing. The spiritual dimension involves meditation, reflection, and connection to your core values. The social-emotional dimension involves service, empathy, and meaningful relationships. Neglecting any of these dimensions diminishes your capacity to practice the other 6 habits. You cannot saw down trees indefinitely without stopping to sharpen your blade. The time you invest in renewal pays dividends in increased effectiveness across every area of your life. This is the upward spiral of growth. Learn, commit, do. Learn, commit, do. Each cycle builds upon the last, creating continuous improvement and expansion of capacity. Covey's framework is ultimately about character transformation. The 7 habits are not techniques to be applied selectively. They are principles to be internalized completely. The journey from dependence to independence to interdependence is not a quick one. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to grow from the inside out. But those who commit to this path discover something remarkable. They find that effectiveness is not about doing more, it is about becoming more, and as they become more, their capacity to contribute, to lead, and to create meaningful change expands beyond anything they previously imagined. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is not just a book to be read, it is a framework to be lived. If you found value in this summary and want more content like this, subscribe to this channel. A new summary is posted every single day. And if this video helped clarify these powerful ideas for you, a like would mean a great deal. It helps this content reach others who are also seeking to grow. Thank you for watching.